Alright, what is up guys? Today we are in beautiful Donghe Gongyuan in Taipei, where I live. It's a nice sunny day. You rarely ever get this park to yourself. There's usually so many kids running around here. And it is, as you can see, just a beautiful park for parkour, for training, and it's right down the street from my house. So it works out perfectly. Today I wanted to show you guys a weird movement that I've experimented with a little bit called a one-armed handspring, one-armed front handspring off of an obstacle. So this movement could be closely related to a Webster, a one-armed Webster with your hand on an object when you do it. The only difference I would say in this motion for me is that I'm actually pushing through the arm pretty hard and getting most of my rotation the same way that I would in a front handspring, instead of relying on the whipping action of my foot to do a front flip. Alright, so let's start breaking it down. Prerequisites, right, would be having your front handspring solid, especially the more parkour style front handspring with some actual pushing versus gymnastics handspring, straight arms and blocking. Works great on a tumbling mat, but outside it could be a little bit hard on your elbows, so it's always good to be safe and actually cushion your elbows a bit with a bit of pushing. It's just my thoughts on it. Pushing off of an obstacle, getting comfortable with actually doing your handspring off of something, not being too afraid about hitting your face on that obstacle, being comfortable with your head being close to it. If you have your handspring on the ground, then this should not be that difficult. The height aspect is only going to make the handspring part easier. It's just that you've got to be comfortable with placing your hands on a hard object and bringing your face somewhat close to it. And I'll show you how it will look when you're really comfortable with it, to the point that you need no momentum to complete your handspring. You can just put your face by the object, push, bang, you fall over. So I don't know if this is absolutely necessary to complete this move, but it definitely will help. The next portion will be actually being able to do a handspring next to an object with one hand on the object and another hand on the ground below. At first this will kind of send you into a strange axis. It won't be straight over because you'll be putting more push into one hand rather than the other. Over time you'll learn how to counteract that and how to go straight over. So once this feels good and comfortable, I think we're on to the real trick, the trick that I wanted to talk about. You are now going to remove the hand from the ground. So you're just going to be pushing singularly through this one arm. The reason I say it's good to learn a handspring off of something else is because it requires a bit of understanding how to flip over in place, right? Because if you send too much of your momentum forward in this movement, then you're not going to make it back around to your feet. You really need to be able to duck hard and push through in place. So if you're still having too much of your momentum going forward, you're probably not going to land on your feet. You might land on your butt. Now the nice part is if you do it somewhere with a soft landing, grass, mulch, you're probably not going to injure yourself, provided you keep your face away from the object. This is a bit of a heady trick. This is a little bit mental, but I don't think that it's particularly hard. Alright guys, just a couple extra thoughts here. If you are afraid that your head is going to hit the wall that you're on when you're doing your handspring off, I've seen a lot of people who are afraid of this because your head does get so close to the wall. If you're pushing at the right time after your apex, it's not really something to worry about. If you push too early, then yes, I could see where it would be a danger. I've been doing it for years now, haven't ever had a problem with a head scrape. If you push too early, it is possible, but if you think about your body being over the apex, right, when you push out, you're gonna shoot out at a 45 at an angle, and your face isn't going to go back into the wall. Just make sure that when you're pushing, you're really stalling. You're waiting till you feel that handstand, and then once you're past the point of your handstand, you're pushing out. Another thing, of course, momentum always helps. So if you're in doubt about your pushing power, add a little bit of a jog step, of a run step into it. If you push at the top of your handstand or too early, this is what causes people to rotate in place and come back down on the object that they just hand-sprung off of. Don't do that. Wait until you're over and then shoot out. So there is one movement I can think of that getting better at will make sure that you don't ever push too early, and that would be to do a handstand on the edge of something, wait until you feel yourself falling, and then perform the twist, the little cartwheel twist, so that you land back on your feet. It can be good to do before trying any of this because it will force you to realize when your apex is and when the time to push is, which would be the same time that you twist in this little example here. Okay guys, that is it for the one-arm front handspring tutorial. I hope you guys picked up something there, figure out where you're at in your progression. I hope to be making more tutorials over the next few weeks over things that I find unique or creative, right? Try to not do the same old backflip, front flip tutorials. Try to find something that I can actually uniquely bring to you. I hope you guys enjoyed. If you did, like, subscribe, you know, all that stuff. And hope to see you again.